a live round was discharged by a police rank. One live round, that's it. We're constantly hearing this Jim Cockbring Ramgoat story. And let me just say to our operator and our executive producer, I have some things to discuss with Mr. Thomas Anderson. And if he is available tonight, then he can join us for a few minutes. I know he's busy with several books. He's busy with the launching of his book as well. Lots of things he's doing. He's making a lot of money. As soon as he comes on here, I'll ask him for a raise. I think he should know what raise is. But as Sheriff Duncan would say, thanks for the thing. Here you go, Tom Anderson. Thanks for the thing. Good night, Tom, as we get back to this serious matter here with this young man. And I want you to listen to this story, Tom, as I thank you for joining us. This young man, Bernard, according to the police, he's wanted allegedly for rape. And so the police approached him in his village at his hometown, and they claimed that there was an altercation or confrontation, mind you, a confrontation where it is alleged, this is according to the police report, that a live round was discharged by a police rank, causing Quincy Bernard to flee. So one live round discharged, and this guy flee into hiding. It is not confirmed whether he was injured, and his whereabouts are currently unknown. Good night, Mr. Anderson. What is your take on the police version of what allegedly transpired?
Good night, everyone. Thanks for having me on, Mark. Yeah, so this is another story of where we have to try to piece together what's going on with the Guyana Police Department. That's the problem. I mean, right there, that's the story. That should be the story, right? Is that no matter what happens, there always seems to be something strange going on that causes the Guyanese Police Department to not be able to do their job, or they did their job, but for some reason it just didn't pan out that way. There's always something going on. So this one, who knows? But it sounds like they were up to no good, the police maybe, and this guy had to bounce. That's what it sounded like. They came to maybe kidnap whoever they did something, and he figured out, oh, these guys are not here for justice, they're here for something else, and he ran off as soon as a gun went off. I mean, that's strange, man. So that's what it sounds like to me. I'm not sure, but that's what it sounds like to me.
I know, but this we're constantly hearing the same version. They fired one round, and just like that, a round fired, and this guy decided to run away like that and disappeared. And then they finally. The other thing to this story, Tom, is they brought in the sniffer dog, the police sniffer dog, known as Henry. Yeah. They call him the dog Henry, probably after the police commissioner Henry Green, who died under questionable circumstances too. They suddenly brought this sniffer dog in, but it wasn't available for that little girl, 11-year-old Adriana Young. Talk to us, Tom, as you look into what's happening in Guyana Police Force.
Yeah, I mean, this, and by the way, it could be, once again, this is one of those, justice things where the police department is deciding to take out justice in their own hands. And, they're not even trying to arrest the guy. Who knows? I mean, there's just no way to know. I don't know if he's done anything wrong, even if he has, right? It's very questionable whether justice can be served in Guyana at this point. So to know what's going on here is virtually impossible. Anything could be happening here, really. And you have to really wait and try to, best you can, to try to piece together what you can. And people basically in Guyana right now have to create their own justice. Like, they can't depend on the police department. They can't depend on the government. And so people have to be citizen journalists. They have to be citizen detectives and figure it out on Facebook. How Adriana Young disappeared or how anything has happened. And if you look at it, those are the ones who are really doing the job, the average people trying to figure things out. So yeah, this is just another case, another mystery of someone having to run from the police, and the police have to shoot them down or something. And there's some wild stuff. Who knows how it's going to end? But, at the end of the day, it's probably highly unlikely that whatever the ending is, it's going to be satisfactory or anything near justice.
Tom, I want to ask you this. We're seeing a different, they were hesitant to do anything at all other than try to cover up this crime. But are you surprised at how quickly they brought the canine or the, as they call it, sniffer dog there in Guyana, but they were reluctant to bring it out?
I mean, come on, Mark. I mean, that was one of the things that when it was in the moment and Adriana Young was missing, remember you did like an afternoon in the middle of the day show. I jumped on, and the first thing that we both were saying was, well, what are the police doing? Why aren't there sniffer dogs? Why aren't they employing the people in the neighborhood? Why are they telling everybody to go home and be quiet? Everything's fine. When everyone was saying, no, man, like we need to find this little girl. And so, yeah, when that happened with the police department, I saw that, oh, these guys, they're not using dogs. They're not using the community. They didn't do anything to try to find Adriana Young. If anything, they were making it so it was impossible to find her, right? So when you have the police doing that,
Tom, if we can, in trouble indeed, Tom, if we just stick a pin there for a quick moment, we have on the line with us a relative of Quincy Bernard. We have Kimon Gentle with us. Good night, Miss Gentle. How are you, ma'am?
Hi, Mark, and the panel. Good night to you.
Yep. Good night again. Can you give us an update on your cousin, Quincy Bernard?
Okay, sure. Good night to the listening public. Saturday, Mark, a team of police officers visited Quincy's residence. Upon that visitation, they inquire about Quincy. They were told that he wasn't at home. They subsequently inquired about his mother. They were told that she also wasn't at home. They left without saying, okay, Quincy is wanted by the Guyana Police Force, asked him to report to the station. Nothing of the sort was done. Last night they returned. Quincy was not at home when they returned. Quincy was further down the street with some friends when a dark vehicle, it wasn't a police vehicle, drove in slowly to where Quincy and his friends were standing. Upon recognizing where Quincy was, he indicated to the police patrol to come through like a city man. Upon arrival and based on the video footage we have, it shows us that Quincy and the police had a brief talk, like, okay, what eyewitness said to us. The police came out and said, Quincy, you wanted. Quincy then asked, wanted for what? Quincy, you wanted, and he asked, any right-minded person would have asked, what am I wanted for? The police did not say to Quincy, well, you wanted for rape, for which the police has a wanted bulletin now saying that he's wanted for allegedly raping someone. So after they insisted that Quincy go into the police vehicle, Quincy did not take the chance to go in. He attempted to run and they fired 2 gunshots behind him. It's not one, it's 2. What is most disgusting, Mr. Benchcap, when the high-rank police officers came in today, they met with us. Neither Mr. Dash nor ASP Harris said to us that Quincy is wanted for rape. We were taken back when we saw the post on the Guyana Police Force page stating that Quincy is wanted for alleged rape. How can we trust the Guyana Police Force? At this time, we don't know for sure if Quincy has been injured. We have not found him as yet. We search, we mobilize search parties, and we search. We have not found him as yet. But it's quite disturbing that the Guyana Police Force did not issue a wanted bulletin prior to the shooting. It was only when we raised an alarm that they shoot at Quincy twice, then they realized that he was wanted for rape.
And so that's the only time. He has never had any brushes with the law, as far as you're aware, or anything, but that is irrelevant anyways. We are hearing that.
May I say this? May I say this? What he had is domestic issues with his wife. That is what we are aware of. He had domestic issues with his wife.
But not okay. That's so we are sticking to the issue here now, where he is missing. Um,
Yes.
Several shots were fired in his direction.
Yes.
Any evidence of
Yes.
blood stain or anything at all?
We have not seen any. We saw on the video footage the police did fire 2 shots, but they claim that they didn't find the spent shell because it fell in the trench.
Wow. Tom Anderson.
The warhead and so.
Yeah, Tom Anderson. Tom, you've heard a relative there, Kimon Gentle, of the missing Quincy Bernard. What is your take on what you just heard there, sir?
Well, it sounds like it's possible that they came out to kidnap and assassinate this man. And that's how the story sounds. It sounds like another attempt by the police department to be sent out as some type of like crazy force because someone paid them or something, and they're just snatching people up. And if you don't get snatched up, they shoot you dead, you know, and then they make up the excuse that, oh, we had some charges. Oh, he tried to run, you know, whatever. But that's what this sounds like.
And there's no evidence that this guy was wanted, quote unquote, any rape. 2 senior officers were there on the ground. I saw Officer Dias. I saw another senior officer. Nobody said to the family that this is what, or this is the reason why they were there, to question him and then take him into the police station as a result of whatever incident or whatever alleged crime. Nothing of that sort. Then the senior police officers went back to their offices, and hours after, they issued this so-called wanted bulletin, not missing person, just a wanted bulletin in order to divert attention from the public. How do you guys feel at this point in time about his safety, ma'am?
Devastating because we don't know for sure if he has been shot, if he's bleeding, where he is, you know, if he's dying. What is most devastating is that the police came under false pretext. I forgot to say this. When they came on Saturday, the one police said, we're here to buy pig because Quincy is a cattle rearer. He sells pig. We're here to buy pig. We come for buy a pig. If you come for buy a pig, how this man is now wanted for rape. They also said that they're not shot at him. The police claim, Police Allen said he fell down. But what we saw on the video footage is that he stood and he shot 2 shots behind Quincy. It's quite devastating. At this time, we cannot trust the Guyana police force. The Guyana police force is incompetent. We want, as a citizen, we want to be able to work with the Guyana police force. But the manner, the modus of operandi is far from the standard operational procedure. How can we trust them moving forward? We cannot trust them. We are a family. Listen, once we stand on principles, we stand for what is right and what is wrong. Once we know Quincy is wanted for an allegation, we will ensure Quincy goes to the station. We will not duck and hide. But we did not know up to the time of the search party that ended after 5 this afternoon. We did not know that he was wanted for alleged rape.
40 minutes after 9 o'clock, sad situation. Quincy Bernard is missing after an altercation, according to the police. He just ran away and he just disappeared just like that. And then they fired 2 shots at him. They claim that they fired 1. Then the other thing they're now claiming, Tom, and others who are watching, that they cannot suddenly and miraculously, they cannot find the spent shells because it fell into the trench. Tom, are you buying that, as we say in Guyana, Jim Cockring Ram Goat story, sir?
Everything falls into the trench, man. I mean, God, there's always blame the trench.
Yeah.
Look, you know, this is I have heard this story now coming from the Guyana police force for some years now. Like, this is not something new. And unfortunately, the way that they run that police force, it's impossible to know what's really going on. It's almost as if they do whatever they need to do. They shoot and then they aim afterwards. And if they hit the wrong person, they blame someone else. and there's nothing there in place to really get after the guys who are corrupt. As a matter of fact, you've got police force members who are out here running as drug cartel members, basically smuggling for the drug cartel. So there's a serious problem with that Guyanese police force, man. Serious problem. I'm sorry, Miss Gentle, for what's going on with your relative Quincy, and and hopefully, he can be found, and this can be dealt with in a peaceful way, and it doesn't end in a bad way. But with the way that the police handle this, it's almost like you have two choices. You either sit back and let them take your relatives and gun them down and do whatever they're going to do to them, or you try to get some organization together, get some attorneys, and try somehow to get out ahead of this thing. I don't know how, because it just doesn't look like Guyana provides anyone an opportunity with an attorney to deal with this stuff. It's like basically you got to let those cops gun you down, and then they can tell you later what they're doing, and you just got to live with it. I mean, it's a real bad state of tyranny right now in Guyana when the police are behaving the way they've been behaving.
Tom and Miss Gentle and
Thank
others.
you. Mark, I want to say one other thing before I go.
Go ahead.
Similarly to the Adriana Young incident, when the police arrived with this old, tired, worn out sniffer dog, they said to us while they were preparing to go into the backlands, a backland that is thick of vegetation, we only need 2 family members. We stood up to them and we said, this will not happen. This will not be another Adriana Young. You cannot tell us you need 2 family members only to go through the thick vegetation at the back there. These are things that the Guyana police force need to stop doing. Family members are there to assist with the search. Why is it they're always putting up defense? Oh, we only need 2. Why?
Cover up. That's all we can think about. Cover up.
To cover up. I agree with you.
Has anybody, senior member of the Guyana Police Force, been in touch with you or any other members of the family?
Since they left the scene this afternoon, Mr. Das and Mr. Harris, no.
What did Mr. Das say to you? Because assuming that he was the most senior underground there.
He was indeed. He said to us that the Guyana Police Force has Mr. Allen under close arrest, and the Guyana Police Force will do what they can to help the family. But what was most disgusting, he did not say to us, well, Quincy is wanted for alleged rape. That is distasteful.
So the policeman who did the shooting, allegedly, he is under close arrest. Is that correct?
That is what they claim, but that is not true. Right now, he's currently working at Wales Police Station. He's on duty right now at Wales Police Station.
All right.
But that is what Mr. Das told us today. He's on close arrest.
And this incident took place somewhere, where is it?
Stanley Town, on the west bank of Demerara.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Stanley Town indeed. Miss Allen, what about his phone? They claim that they found his phone. What's going on with that, please?
Great question. We were calling the phone with hope to hear it ring in some way so we can track him down. We called that phone all the time. It kept ringing out. At a certain point of time this morning, it stopped ringing. When Mr. Grant, the senior officer, came, CID, and he said, family step back. Family step back. It wasn't until after just around midday when Mr. Harris came. He said to us they found the phone, and we were like, how and when? Then they said the sniffer dog found the phone. Mike, we were right there. Nobody alerted us. But here, we pick up this phone from here. Look, it's here. When we inquire about the phone, oh, it gone to Wales Police Station. How the phone left the scene and went to Wales Police Station, and we were right there. So again, the stories that are being told by the Guyana Police Force are not stories for educated people.
So the sniffer dog probably heard the phone ringing and decided to sniff it out, right? Tom, let's get back to Tom, please. If you give us a couple of minutes more, Miss Gentle. Tom, what's your take on this sniffer dog and this phone now?
Wow. I mean, Mark, man, this is out of control. I mean, this sounds like they have the guy and he's not alive, and they have unalived the man, and they're trying to figure out a way to make it seem like he unalived himself some way, somehow. I don't know, but that's what this. Unfortunately, I'm not trying to say her loved one is her relative is no longer alive, but what she's describing with what the police are doing, it does not sound good for his health and well-being.
And Miss Gentle, we want to be really gentle. We don't want to be insensitive at all. But we're just trying to fix the pieces here because it's pretty obvious. And I agree with Tom. I agree with all of our listeners and those who are in the comment section as well, that the police, they know exactly what happened. And, if in fact they hurt your cousin, I don't want to use the word kill, but, to be insensitive. Yeah. But if in fact they did that, they are probably going to throw him in some trench. Again, I hope that's not the case, but the police force has a lot of murderers in it, and starting from some very top policemen, and they may probably dump him in some trench and say, well, look, he committed suicide. You guys be careful for that, but let us hope that Quincy is alive and well. But this question here, please, Miss Gentle, do you think Quincy is the kind of person that will stay away and not call to say, hey, everything is okay?
No, I don't think he's that kind of person. I think once he gets a chance, he will reach out to us because he knows the kind of family he has.
This is such a sad situation. We can just imagine, Miss Gentle. We can just imagine the pain and what's going
on. And anguish he's going through.
Yeah, and we can just imagine the family. And what is the community doing in the search effort at this time? Because I know that village, Stanley Tongue, is a very close-knitted village.
At this time, I wish to express sincere gratitude to the community. They came out and they lended their support. We searched the backlands. We went across to and from, not once, not twice, but thrice. We went back and forth. So thanks, a special thanks to the villagers of Stanley Tongue, and we asking for more persons to come on board tomorrow because we have not stopped. We halt the search for tonight, but we will resume tomorrow morning bright and early until we find Quincy.
And I saw members within the community. They were all out there, and I'm familiar with Stanley Tongue, a very, very beautiful village indeed. And those from Stanley Tongue, if you're watching right now, kudos to you guys, your bravery. Please go out more in your numbers and to help to search for this young man, Quincy Bernard. Now, if the senior members of the Guyana Police Force may be watching now, especially the controversial Commissioner of Police, what would be your message to the police force, please, ma'am?
My message to the Guyana Police Force is let us use the standard operational procedure. We have too many little boys and little girls operating in the force, not taking instructions from those on the ground, but in my opinion, taking instructions from somebody higher. They're very ill-mannered. They don't know how to relate with the public. And so that is a big thing for me. So what I want to say again, let us work with the standard operational procedure. You can't want a man and say you come for my pig. Identify yourself as a police, state your reason for being here, and let the law take its course. We have seen the pandit, Mark, who raped that 13-year-old girl. He was not gunned down. He was given a fair chance with justice. He was placed on $100,000 bail. And we are saying, let the law take its course for Quincy. Give Quincy a chance. He is innocent until proven guilty. I am not here swearing for my cousin, but we are saying, give him a fair chance.
And that's fair enough, Teacher Gentle. That's fair enough.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You mentioned that pandit and that 13-year-old girl, which happened several years ago, maybe 4 years ago or so. And
yeah.
that very pandit was a candidate for the PPPC.
Yes.
And that little girl, actually, I think she was 14 or 15, maybe a little older. That same little girl committed suicide. Am I correct? Is that the correct story? You're right.
I am not very sure if she did.
Yeah, I think she killed herself, unfortunately. That's what happens in Guyana. They cover up for for their friends and cronies. That's the PPP and the corrupt Guyana police force. Tom, anything quickly before Ms. Gentle goes?
No, once again, I just think, there's strength in numbers. The community needs to get out first thing in the morning, and maybe they can find this man. Maybe he's unconscious in a trench somewhere, and you can get him first thing in the morning and save him. I don't know, but as many people who can come out and help needs to help to try to find this man, and and hopefully justice can be had one way or the other.
This is so sad. We can, again, Miss Gentle, just imagine how you guys, I saw you earlier being interviewed. You seem to be the strength and the backbone, one of many strength and backbone of the family. We salute you. We salute your bravery. And thank you not only for what you do here now, but thank you for even molding the minds of the young ones in the village and surrounding communities as a teacher as well. So if Quincy is watching right now, he may be afraid to come forward. He may be probably they don't want to let the family down. But if he is watching right now, what would be your message to Quincy, please, ma'am?
Quincy, we love you. If you are looking at this program right now, just get a message to me. I will not come with a team. I will come by myself. I am a soldier. I will come by myself and we will talk. We love you and we want what is best for you. We want to ensure if you are injured that you get medical assistance, and then we will take you to the police, because that's all we can do. A wanted bulletin has been issued for you, and so anything can happen to you right now. We don't want that to happen. So once again, Quincy, if you are hearing my voice, please send me a message. Let me know where you are so I can come and get you. We love you.
Thank you so much, Kimon Gentle, Teacher Gentle, indeed. And I noticed some question. I know you have to go. You've been busy all day. People want to know about the spirits and all these different things. But what we want to do is to know where this young man is, as opposed
to right now.
But how is parents? How is parents doing? And does he have any kids? And so
his mother is not doing well, or blood pressure is sky high right now.
Yeah, we can just imagine. And just tell her our prayers are with her. And I will stay in touch with you. I'll give you a call, because tomorrow is a hot day. The folks out there in Stanley Town should go out there in their numbers. They're going to need some water. They're going to need maybe some other stuff. But I'll be in touch with you, ma'am. Thank you so much, Miss Gentle. And our prayers are with you and your family for the safe return of this young man.
Thank you very much, Mr. Benshaw.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, Tom Anderson, you heard there. I don't know. What else is going through your mind, please, Mr. Anderson?
It's one of the most frustrating things that anyone can live through is, being victimized by the police, being victimized by people in authority, because it's not just that you're victimized, it's that someone is taking the power that the government and the public has given them, and they've abused it to go after innocent people. And I don't know what's going on with Quincy's situation. I don't know if he's innocent or not, but I do know this. He hasn't been found guilty of anything by anyone. So up until he's found guilty, he needs to be treated fairly. And it just looks like that doesn't happen from the Guyanese police force. It doesn't look like they're much in the business of justice or treating anyone fairly. It's just another really sad case. And the other thing is, I noticed, mainly a lot of these cases are of, the victims are a certain race. I don't see very many Indo victims here by this police department that are being chased down, gunned down, found in trenches, missing children, no one looking for them. It's not the Indo people that the police are doing it to. I mean, it just seems over and over again, the people being abused are people that are Black, of African descent in Guyana. And the sad thing is the police department mainly is mostly African descent. So, once again, you have a situation where, and we've seen it here in America, where you have the most abusive members of a police force are the ones who are abusing their own race. Okay. And it's one of the worst things that can happen, because when you have a police force doing that to its own population, it brings in a kind of lawlessness that you just can't make go away. I don't care what's happening on a national level. I don't care what's happening in presidential elections. If your police department is out of control and they're basically hunting innocent people and making up charges, making innocent people disappear, and then when innocent children disappear, they're covering it up. They're telling the public to don't even look for the child. Go away. She's run off with some man. We have proof. Look, it's in our police phones, and it's all lies. I mean, this is a serious problem. And I'm just surprised no one on the national level is hitting on this more, considering it's an election year.
57 minutes after 9 o'clock. And Tom, you're so correct. I listened to a video earlier with, I believe it's someone. Sorry about that. I believe it's someone in the village there, Stanley Tongue. And let me just say that this person is expressing himself. And it's a little bit raw in a sense, using the C word. And, no offense to our East Indian Guyanese brothers and sisters, but this is what the corrupt PPP regime does. And heading back to what Tom said about the fact that the police, members of the Guyana police force, seem to be hunting down and slaughtering mainly, for the most part, persons of African descent. And let me apologize ahead of time for the C word. It's being used here, but listen, in what context?
The police, I don't know something since he come out the police, he was on a gun. All the time he come with the intention to kill. Quincy was like less than 5 feet away from Mr. Ali. If Mr. Ali come for arrest Quincy, Ali had to be whole Quincy and send him to the gun station. Otherwise he keep telling me, man, this thing will like escalate. You understand? We got the station. Quincy decided to run. When Quincy run, then Quincy and fire two shots.
Tom, we just pause there for a moment, and it's interesting that eyewitness is saying that the police was just about 5 feet or so away from Quincy, and they had an opportunity to talk to him to de-escalate the situation and arrest him. However, going back to your point earlier, that it appears as though the police went there to harm this young man, to possibly, unalive him, and murder him, that is, to be blunt. What is your take on what you heard from that eyewitness?
Yeah, I mean, this is more evidence towards something nefarious happening here once again. What the problem is, whenever you're talking about the Guyanese police force, it's rare that you're talking about something that they did good, where they finally found a bad guy who was running around robbing old ladies. You never hear about them doing really good police work. It's always something shady, something strange, something crazy. It's like no matter what happens, the story almost always ends up being something totally unbelievable, like crazy, right? And so that's what gets me is that not only are they doing stuff that just doesn't look right, but the way that they handle it ends up creating so much chaos. It's like, why are you even police? What are you doing? What are you there for? You're supposed to be there to bring order and calmness. And what's happening is you've got an orderly and calm population for the most part, and the police are coming in to create the chaos. It's just out of control.
Out of control, indeed. We heard information that the hierarchy of the PPP and the government, allegedly, that is, they cover up an alleged rape situation concerning this cricketer. We heard that, of course, it's alleged that Irfan Ali and the DPP and others did whatever they did, and senior members of the Guyana police force, to cover up this allegation of rape against this cricketer. But we will touch on that probably some other time. Let's get back to this eyewitness and listen carefully to what this guy had to say about the disappearance of Quincy Bernard.
The police, I don't know something since he come out the police, he was on a gun. All the time he come with the intention to kill. Quincy was like less than 5 feet away from Mr. Ali. If Mr. Ali come for arrest Quincy, Ali had to be whole Quincy and send him to the gun station. Otherwise he keep telling me, man, this thing will like escalate. You understand? We got the station. he said to run. When Quincy run, then Quincy and fire 2 shots. And Quincy all Uncle Paul and go down. You understand? But Mr. Allen claiming he and fire no shot. And when people say like, guys, the first part come from somebody wrong, he can't say he didn't care what happened. But we got this thing can't go down like this. We got to come and stand down and do it. Once they don't want to do it. This is a community, everybody is like family. You understand?
You ain't care, then I'm bringing you ain't care. The police gonna get it right, because right now it's a Guyana political force. It's a Guyana political force, and not a Guyana police force. Are you gonna get it right? Are you killing black man like that? Are you shooting down black man? When are you going the Indian area? Are you done shooting down them coolie like that? But every time you're coming to black man area, you're shooting them like fucking dogs. Eh? I just think twice and think 100 fucking times before you shoot a fucking coolie. Before you shoot a coolie, I just think twice. We fed up with them. Every time they come in a black man area, if we shoot a black man down, black man is fucking dogs. Black man is dogs. Treat a black man just how you would treat an Indian man, a coolie man. You come for my fucking pig. He is the fucking pig you come for by. Is it slaughterhouse how you went, Mother Scott? Is it slaughterhouse how you went? He had the went out of fear. He had Quincy went out of fear. Is that how it's true? It's a domestic issue, ongoing domestic issue. What gun got for come into play for? What gun got come into play? Quincy's not a murderer. Quincy's not a murderer. He's not cheap. He's not fucking. He's not cheap. Whatever the issue is, let the standard operational procedure work. We're tired of the Guyana police force always doing the wrong thing for us. We are tired.
Tom Anderson, you heard the full recording there, and the people are obviously frustrated. A one-sided affair for the most part. And now we're not saying that any citizen should be gunned down, regardless of their ethnicity, whether they're East Indian Guyanese, African Guyanese, it doesn't matter. But it seems to be the order of the day where the Guyana police force feel as though they have to do the biddings of a corrupt PPP regime to go out and slaughter mainly persons of African descent. Again, you made that point earlier, but you heard what the woman and the man had to say. Any more thing you would like to add there, please?
I mean, it sounded like the witness said that he got shot, actually. Maybe I'm wrong with what I heard, Mark, but it sounded like the witness said they hit him with one of those bullets. Maybe I'm wrong. So, this is, this is a really, really, really bad case again. Bad example of policing, just bad example of, you don't have, it's weird because in a country like Guyana, you would think that the police force would have a fairly easy job. I mean, it's not a violent country. You don't have a situation like the United States where we've got more guns here than humans. We've got like 500 million guns running around the country right now. We've got 350 million people. So we've got more guns than humans over here, and we're violent up here in America. And it's like, okay, you don't have anywhere near that in Guyana, yet the police are running around as if they're policing a prison population. They treat the average Guyanese citizen, especially the black citizens, as if they are criminals before they even come out to the scene. And so, yeah, I don't know how a gunshot happened. I don't know how they even pulled out a gun on a situation where a man is being, accused of whatever he's being accused of. But I can promise you this. There wasn't any word out that he's armed and dangerous. There was no word that he had shot a police officer. Here in the States, when the police do this stuff, usually it's because the suspect shot up a cop. Yeah, you shoot a cop. Everyone here knows if you shoot a cop, well, you're gonna if they shoot you when they're trying to capture you, well, that's kind of what's going to happen to you. People can understand that. But in Guyana, no, you can be minding your own business and the police are coming there to shoot you down, and you will never know why. No one will ever know why. It's like, well, who knows? They just come out to shoot people. I mean, this is wow. Can you even call them a police force at this point? I don't know.
I don't think majority of Guyanese have confidence in the Guyana police force, especially under the corrupt PPP regime. We see this this policeman, senior superintendent, Hemnat Saw, was sanctioned because he's listed as a drug lord, so to speak, or drug trafficking. He's listed along with these others, drug traffickers. Hemnat Saw, a senior member of the Guyana police force. Tom, as we look at the time and as we're talking about sanctions, and something caught my attention today, and I think you brought this up maybe a while back. U.S. Congress warns OFAC sanctioned Azruddin Mohammed is a pro-Maduro puppet. Putting aside the pro-Maduro puppet, but U.S. Congress warns OFAC, or is it a congressman warns OFAC? I don't know what's going on here. Put the pieces together, please, Tom.
Yeah, so there's a congressman down here called Mr. Carlos Jimenez. He's from the Miami area. He's in the whole group with Marco Rubio. And I've told the audience before, and you guys should hear this, okay? So the Cuban members of our congressional caucus, they have their own network of intel guys that are different from United States intel stuff. Like, they have access to information in the Caribbean that a lot of people don't have. And so whenever you hear a Cuban member of our Congress speak on something on the international level, they're speaking from a place of knowledge. I'm telling you. And they know more than just what our government's telling them. They get information from on the ground, through the Catholic Church, through a lot of different areas. And so when you hear a member of Congress like this speak out publicly and say, hey, Azruddin Mohammed is a pro-Maduro puppet, what he's saying is the intel that we have, the information we have in the United States, and the information that they have been getting is information telling them that Azruddin Mohammed is doing everything that he's doing in order to benefit Maduro and his smuggling operation. Because remember, Maduro, he uses Trinidad like his own little smuggling island. Okay, so the Venezuelans have been very active under Maduro in smuggling all types of stuff out of the Amazon. Okay, this is just what they do. Maduro's a crook, man. He's a thief, and he's looking to steal from Guyana. So of course, if Maduro is going to plug into Guyana and try to steal from the people of Guyana right next door to him, who is Maduro going to work with? He's going to work with smugglers. Azruddin Mohammed is a smuggler. And I've said it before, okay? The reason why he's running for president is real simple. He sees it like this. He's under sanctions himself personally. But if he becomes president, then he can make the entire nation be under sanctions. And so that way, everybody will be like him, and his situation will be fixed. So he doesn't have to get off sanctions. All he has to do is put all the rest of you in Guyana under sanctions, and now he's back on the top of the mountain. That's his goal. That's his plan. And so when you hear our members of Congress say, oh, he's a pro-Maduro puppet, what they're saying is, oh, this guy's running for office so that he can become president, and he can make it so that the entire nation of Guyana will be under sanctions. And when that happens, guess what? Maduro takes over Guyana. And he takes it over with the help of the Chinese, right? And what will happen is all of Guyana, you will lose everything. They will rob you blind. Because once you're under American sanctions, the entire country, then you're like a black zone to us and our government, which means that every government in the world is going to see you and easily pick you apart. Because what they're going to say is okay, well, your nation can't even bank with the United States. Your people can't bank with anybody in Europe. You can't even fly to the United States, because that's what will happen with sanctions. No one in Guyana will even be able to come to America, right? And when you're under that situation, the rest of the world will rob you blind. Because what are you going to do then? Are the people of Guyana going to go to China and say, "Oh, protect us, stop people from stealing everything from us"? Well, it's China that's doing it, right? And so that's Azzuddin Mohammed's plan. He wants basically to get out from underneath sanctions by putting the whole country under sanctions, and that would benefit a lot of people around the world, including some Americans. There are some Americans who would love for Guyana to be under sanctions, because then it would be so easy to rob your country blind, and there's nothing you guys will be able to do about it. You'll be underneath the Guyanese police force, where if anyone says a word, they'll just gun you down, unalive you, throw you in a trench, and Azzuddin Mohammed will be your king, your sanctions king, and you'll all be under sanctions with him together. That's the plan. And that's what will happen to Guyana if he becomes president. So that's why people are speaking out, because they're saying, oh, man, if this guy becomes president, it's obvious what happens here. Guyana becomes a dictatorship. The entire country goes under sanctions, and you all get robbed blind for the next 2 or 3 generations. And there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. That's what you guys are facing. I don't want that to happen to you. But you know what? The people of Guyana have a choice. And if you guys want to choose sanctions and your whole country under sanctions, go ahead. Pick Azzuddin. That's what you're going to get.
Sanctions, indeed. If you pick the PPP, you'll get punishment, indeed. But if you vote right, Guyana will be back on track. Just as we saw what was happening from 2015, for the most part, from 2015 to 2020. Guyana must be able to breathe again, and all citizens must be able to enjoy their lives in Guyana. They should not be walking the streets looking like this in an oil-rich country, billions and billions of dollars. Tom Anderson, before we go, please, your closing remarks.
Well, Mark, and that's the thing. I see people saying, oh, it's the lobbyists who are doing this, and it's China is already robbing us blind. Yeah, they're robbing you blind. I've been coming on saying this for years now. And here's the thing. There are people here in the United States who want to help China continue to rob you blind. I'm not one of those people, but I'll tell you what, since I've come out and said, hey, man, you guys better be careful with Azzuddin Mohammed, people think that, oh, yeah, he's one of the bad guys, so you can think I'm a bad guy. But I can promise you this. I promise you all this. If you think you're getting robbed blind now, just wait to see what happens when your president is under sanctions, because you'll all be under sanctions. And I'm telling you now, everything will be taken from you, and there will be nothing you can do about it if your whole country is under sanctions. You know how I know this? Look at the Iranian regime. Look at any group that's ever been put under huge sanctions by look at Maduro next door. Look what happens. The country goes broke. Everybody gets stuck. You end up with massive violence. It spirals out of control. So you may not want to believe me. You may want to think, okay, he's just making it up because he's an American. I'm not making it up as an American. I'm telling you flat out, okay? This guy is under sanctions. He's under sanctions for smuggling. Maduro is the king smuggler. If you guys put a smuggler in as president who's under sanctions, your whole country is going to be under sanctions. You won't be able to travel any Western countries. You'll be stuck going to North Korea, China, and if you're lucky, you could go to Russia. That's where you guys are going to be. That's what will happen to you if he's your president. I'm just telling you. Now, you can say, oh, I'm working for the lobbyists. I'm working for the PPP. Or you can say whatever you want, okay?
Emotions.
That's fine. But the truth is, this guy is going to sink all of you. Period. End of story. I don't know how else to put it to you. He's going to fix his situation by making all of you be just like him, stuck under sanctions. That's his goal.
Hopefully soon some of them reality will kick in. Probing, and we heard that their indictments for drug smuggling, gold smuggling, all manner of things, terrorism. It is what it is, and when the U.S. decides to act in that regards. Well, it is what it is. But for now, we just want a better Guyana, and folks who are preparing to go out and vote in the elections, September 1st, vote for the opportunity for Guyana to be able to breathe again, and to save Guyana, not to save an individual, to save Guyana. Guyana is far more important than an individual, any individual. Thank you all so much. Tom Anderson, thank you so much too. Appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you back sometime during the course of this week.
God bless. Take care.
To all of you, again, thanks for tuning in. And again, if you're celebrating your birth anniversary, happy birthday. If you celebrated it recently, belated birthday greetings. And if you've lost a loved one, if you're going through whatever, our prayers with you, our condolences as well. And also let's pray and continue to pray for this young man that is missing. Allegation of rape was leveled against him. That's according to the police force. No one seems to know who the victim is. I don't know, Houdini-like situation. But this young man is missing, and we have to say that a lot of suspicion on the part of the corrupt police force. Maybe they hurt this guy terribly, that he's no longer alive. Maybe, who knows? But enough is enough. I'm told that members of the family, members of the community, that is Stanley Town, they're probably prepared to protest in front of Wales Police Station tomorrow. They must get the answers that they are looking for. And apart from that, the safe return of Quincy Bernard. But for now, my name is Mark Benchap. Have a great rest of the night. Continue to keep this little girl, Adriana Young, in your minds. She's still, her family, they're still awaiting justice. The government has raw deal her. The corrupt police force raw deal her. We need to hear from the lawyer, Dexter Todd. What's happening? What's the latest on this case, Dexter? What's happening with the autopsy report as well? We need answers upon answers upon answers. And we could just imagine what's going through the minds of her parents, her mother, Amicia, and her father, Sir Brian. But for now, my name is Mark Benchap. I'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM. Again, a happy 75th birth anniversary to Shara Duncan, who took the night off. So there was no in the ring tonight. There was no bell. There was nothing. And just birthday bells and candles, 75th birthday. How many of you believe that he's actually 75th? But take a little humor. He's probably somewhere in his 40s or somewhere. But for now, I'm out of here. God bless you all. Take care and have a wonderful rest of the night. Bye-bye.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%. Get your give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base. Then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fear in the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clout. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them, they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barrett and Sue.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Sue Jurong?
Sue? Oh, Sue. My relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my place.
Yeah, my name is Jacinti Caldata, Francis Vietnam, and since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my ex next to the cop. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by that.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.